Hello again, and welcome to my creative African cooking channel, Ndudu by Fafa. So today we're going to be making the Adiba Oblique Aji pudding. Yes, it's papaya, peanuts, and corn pudding. It's so easy to make, and I'll tell you what, it's a must try. Now, this recipe is synonymous with the Ewe tribe from Ghana as well as Togo. So yes, it's West African and it's a must try. Gluten-free, of course. Let's start. So traditionally, fresh peanuts or granuts are used for this recipe. However, in the absence of that, you can use your raw peanuts and you need to soak it to rehydrate it. Exactly what I've done here. Soak it for a couple of hours, 2 hours as a minimum. That works perfectly because it plumps up perfectly. Now to a saucepan, I'm adding some water because I'm going to be boiling the peanuts. Now do wash your peanuts and then add it to your water and allow this to simmer beautifully on that medium to low heat. The next thing I'm going to tackle is the corn on the cob. So I'm taking the husk and the silk part of the corn on the cob off, as you can see here. And that's just going to reveal the kernels. That's just beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is separate the kernels from the cob by using a sharp knife. Now please do take all necessary precautions when you're dealing with any sharp objects, absolutely. And yeah, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 as we do so. Confession time. I was so engrossed into the aesthetic of this that I ended up using a flat surface, but it's best to use a bowl because it captures all the kernels in it. And yeah, it avoids being messy. Now, my peanuts have been boiling or simmering, may I say, for about 10 minutes, and it's now time for me to add my corn kernels. And I'm just going to mix everything together till it's well combined, as I always say. And I'm just going to simmer this for another 15 minutes. So it's going to be nice and just so. This is not any other food, this is Ndudu by Fafa. Now that did boil and I've added extra water because I just need that to be so. Now this was under the strict tutelage of my mom, by the way. So I'm going to allow the corn and the peanuts to boil dry whilst I tackle my next ingredient, which is papaya, or locally known as pawpaw. It's best to use your ripened papaya or pawpaw for this recipe. Now, it's readily available in most grocers, which is where I prefer to get my fruits and vegetables from, or supermarkets, may I say. But yeah, I've divided that in two and I'm taking the seeds out, as you can see here. Of course, I did wash my papaya first. And now I'm just going to scoop the flesh by using my spoon into a bowl. Now, once it's ripened, it's just so easy. It's not tough and it's just nice, creamy, and just so. Look at that. This is not any other food. This is Ndudu by Fafa. And here we have our goodness. I'm just using my spoon to crush this because I still need it in that textured manner. But yes, just breaking the big chunks in there, and that's just it. Now I have boiled my peanuts and corn dry, as I did mention earlier. It's got a little bit of moisture and I'm adding my salt to taste. I filmed the salting part, yes please. And I'm mixing everything together. So now I think I've got that desired texture that it does require for my papaya. I'm just going to add it to my mixture. Now bearing in mind, this is not on a very low heat. So I'm using that residual heat to cook this. And this part of it just takes about 4 minutes because you just want that infusion to take place. You just want it so. So I've just added that. I've turned the heat off and I'm just going to cover this just for about a minute or two to rest, just to allow the infusion to take place as usual. And guess what? I'm adding a bit more. Now this is it. Such a simple pudding. And what I love about it is, of course, the papaya is nice and soft and then it lends its sweetness to this dish. And you've got that crunchy bite from the kernel as well as the peanuts. So it's a recipe that you have to try without a doubt. It's something that, you'd enjoy. And especially in this weather now, that's just a definite, must try recipe. Easy. Do thank me later, by the way. But of course, you know that you are to Ndudu by Fafa, and I had to do my little catch-up. So I had to present this in that je ne sais quoi manner, as you do. And then I decided to add some oregano leaves to it. I mean, that is optional, but you know what? It's Ndudu by Fafa. The best thing about this recipe is it can be served either hot or cold. It's to your own personal preference. I hope you're inspired to try this simple but equally delicious recipe. Now leave the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter as ndudubyfafa, so do pass by and say hi. Thank you, Nurel, for my music, and until next time, kings and queens, you take care of you. Be you, and if you're ever going to change for you. Me love you for you. Toodles.